Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday afternoon or Saturday night, wherever you are. I'm up here in Montreal, or just north of Montreal, and it's been raining like not cats and dogs, literally, but it's been raining on and off today, fairly bad. And the day is almost done. It's 9 p.m. Just having some leftover hamburger that I have over here. So that's my dinner. I've been trying to relax. Finally got my laptop back yesterday, Friday around lunchtime. So I've been kind of busy dealing with that most of the day yesterday to get things back up and running, get things configured, get things back, applications that are missing beforehand that I never had, certain little apps that were missing for our department that I need to get installed in and get them running and get that configured. And I think I have one other password that I have to get changed, and that's for a department that I usually log into remotely for their ATMs and all that under the Citrix application. So I have to speak with somebody regarding to that on Monday. And that's been my week in a nutshell. And I did order some of these new batteries there from Ryobi. Oh, here's one of them. Here's the other one. I got some lithium. It's the base model lithium batteries here. Here we go. And they're the base model 4 amp hours, the bottom line of them. They used to have 3 types. The lithium, which are these ones here. This is the base model, which comes with a nice little trinket lights telling you how much there's charged in there. Let me put that on again. This is their base model. They still sell off and on. They still have specials for 1.5s and 2s or 2 amp hour batteries. I no longer deal with 2 amp hour batteries. I'm trying to get rid of the 1.3s, the 1.5s. No, 1.3, 2 amp hour batteries that I have left over. Once those die off completely, I'm sticking with the 4 amp hour lithiums, if not higher, just because they last longer, even for radios and all that. So that's one reason why I'm sticking with 4 amp hours. They had another set of 4 amp hours like this, but this one here, like I said, is the base one. They had lithium plus high capacity 4 amp hours, which had this little neck here in a yellowish color. And then they had their high performance or edge. The difference between high performance and high performance edge is the battery itself. Instead of having, like, if you would get like a AA battery or a AAA battery, most likely they have AA batteries in here for the cells themselves. But when you look at the AA batteries, you usually have, on the negative side, it's usually flat. On the positive side, you'll have like a little indentation, like a little cap, almost like a worker's cap, like a construction cap. Similar to like that on the alkaline side, on the alkaline batteries. What they did on the lithium ion ones, is they made it totally flat, and they did mark the usual, this is the plus side, that's the negative side, so that way there's no confusion. And because of the chemical composition that they use in the edge batteries, which make them high capacity, not only that, they also have in the brains for the battery themselves much more efficient, because if you pair that battery up with a brushless tool, it gets to communicate with the battery to the tool. So in other words, it checks to see if the motor's, let's say, is slowing down slightly. What it'll do is it'll communicate to the battery saying, hey, give me some more power, I'm slowing down here. So the battery would release more power to bring the motor back up. Well, that's great for brushless tools. Brushless tools themselves. But for regular brush tools, you don't need those third contacts because it's not really used. And there are on certain brushless tools where they don't have that third contact and they still use the regular contacts on the stem here to communicate that information between the two. So even though these were $98 for 2 packs, for a 2 pack set of batteries, I bought three or four packs, just so I have some extra batteries when needed. Because I know sometimes if I'm going to start doing a project and I start ripping through a lot of stuff, like a lot of drilling, a lot of driving, a lot of cross cutting as an example, with the circular saw as an example, or if I had a chainsaw or whatever the case may be, I'll go through a lot more batteries with that. So that's why I went on a kind of a little spree on batteries here for the time being. And now I'm done with that and a set of batteries. A battery charger that can charge 2 of them at the same time. So spending wise, that's it. And I kind of done it in with myself also today. I've actually gotten a little kerfuffle with my ex. Just because I see her often. Now she's married to somebody else, which is fine. I have no quarrels with that. It's just a lot of damage was done between her and myself regarding our relationship and all that, and what had happened during that time. I'm not going to go into details on it, just to respect on it. And and it came up to a point where I just got really, really annoyed, for the lack of a better term, because she didn't want to understand on all this, and she didn't want to do anything in return. So she was kind of there with her friends that were online, and I mentioned since the days of yore, uh, when Yahoo Messenger was popular, that she's been doing whatever it is since that time between her and I from then on in over the years, like how she treated me and so on and so forth, and how everything was so unjustified. So she finally blocked me on uh, on that popular TikTok, which is a short video thing there online. So I have no problems. I don't even talk to her. I don't even talk to her daughter, that I consider almost as a daughter to myself. But even then, at that time, or even now, I don't even know what the daughter's doing. I can't control it. I can't, and I won't try. Because whatever has happened is actually her dealings with it. She can do what she wants with her kids. I just don't want to have any more say with it. And I've been trying to move on very carefully in meeting new people, and especially online these days, especially through Facebook Messenger, through all these popular sites, social media sites. And there's a lot of people out there that are scam artists, oh but. And that's why I try to avoid as much as possible. Some of them come out right away saying, oh, can you send me money? Can you send me money? No, I don't know you that well. And you know the typical routines, because true friends do not ask other friends for money. They have to work for it like anybody else. And that's what I've been doing. So even today, one of my other, I wouldn't say a friend, but I would say kind of like an acquaintance over the net, had done the same thing of asking me to come down over there. And I went, no, I'm not ready for that. I'm not going to go down there. If you want to come see me, you come up over here, but she doesn't work and all that. So she's giving me the dry eye things of it. So I'm leaving it as is. I'm not taking any more chances. I'm going to leave my life. I need to continue on with something else. And I've been trying so desperately to push forward, so to speak, and keep up that good face that I usually do. And knowing, because I deal with frontline support through work, I try to not let things get to me too much. And I just keep on doing the do that I got to do for work. My private life sucks like right now, because I wish I did have somebody there in my life where I see all my other friends who I've known over the years, since, grade school, high school, who have already had children, or, like, that are already married, that have gotten married early on in their life, like right after high school, right after college, whatever the case may be. And I just envy those people who got married, both male and female, and some of them had great successful marriages, which fantastic. I applaud them for having a long-term relationship with their better half, whether it's male or female. And then others ones, yeah, you'll tend to go through a little, what's the word I'm thinking of? A little, rough patch. But, I try to be there for them as well, and they kind of know what I'm going through, but it's like, for them, the length of time I've been single, it seems a little bit excessively too long. I said, well, look, this is what I've been given. It's like, I'm not what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not the hunka dunka like Fabio, as an example, or as The Rock is another one, because everybody knows The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, from WWE, WWF, and all his films. I'm not like anything like that, anything close to it. I'm just a fluffy guy. But still, to be able to punch through and keep on going the way I've been going, which is helping other people out. So, things like that were starting to affect me in such a way that, for some reason, and I'm not trying to blame myself here, and I'm not trying to blame anybody else over there, it's just certain situations are out of my control regarding that, and I would like to be able to have that changed, if humanly possible, which I think it is possible for everybody, and still find that nice medium to be able to continue on and be able to say, yeah, I'm leading a successful life. I found my better half found me, and we're going on the up and up. It's just that it takes so bloody long for some people, and like myself, it feels like it's been one hell of a ride, that it's been so long. And I feel like, just as an example, and I don't mean to put this on like I'm putting myself down, I'm not. It feels like I've been too dormant regarding being back in the relationships, being able to find somebody of willing to be there in my life. So that's the point I'm trying to make at. And it's just hard for me to find that certain niche for myself where I can say I'm happy, And not many people understand that. And considering I'm a Gen Xer, part of Gen Xers we're feral. We're very feral. So that's part of life. Anyhow, tonight is going to be a short little vlog, and it's already going on just over 13 minutes. Usually I have long ones. Sometimes I have really short, super short ones. This is about average. So I'll catch you guys sometime next week, whenever I can, if I'm not too busy. If I'm busy, I've been working. So catch everybody later. Ta-ta.